What's up, Southsiders?
And welcome to the 35th Reason Podcast.
And we're going. Welcome to another edition of the 35th Reason Podcast. This is Mike and
I am Alan. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode number 10. Today is a very special episode, and we have our first guest to start us off with our Double Digits podcast. You want to introduce yourself, buddy?
Yes, sir. My name is ikk4ze, long for K's. I'm a Twitch gamer and also friend of the podcast. I've been listening for a while now.
Yeah, buddy. That's how you get on here. You gotta be our friends, you know. You gotta follow us. You gotta communicate, and we'll get you on.
you gotta pay your respects. We know this guy's about to pay some respects to the mob. Welcome to the Goon squad,
Welcome, bro. Welcome to the studio, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate you guys having me. I've been lobbying for this since about the second episode. Mike can tell you that I've been on him like, yo, when are you going to have me on the podcast, bro? And I had to pay him off.
We are truly excited because, like I was telling the homies off air, this marks the before and after of our podcast because not only is he our first guest, he's the lucky charm why the lockout ended, and they knew he was coming. So they're like, you know what? Let's get it over with. We got to start playing some baseball, and we're freaking excited about that. I know maybe some of you guys know about some signings that the White Sox made already. But if you don't, Alan's going to bring up a couple names.
Yeah, I mean, the ones I know at least. So I know we were talking about when we first started, literally when we started the podcast, all we wanted to see was pitchers, man. And they answered our prayers, man. So we got our first one from the LA Dodgers. So he's no longer a Dodger. Now he's a White Sox. His name is Joe Kelly. Yeah, sir. Buddy. And I think that's the one we're most excited about right now because, you know, they were just World Series champs. So maybe he's going to help us over here.
Yeah, no longer wearing that Dodgers blue. Now you wearing that black, bro, that white and black.
Black.
And I wanted to bring this up, and I know I'm going to ask my boy here, ikk4ze or Case, because we've been pronouncing it wrong for years now.
Yeah, he almost came in here and slapped us in the face and said, "Hey, man, it's Case, not ikk4ze."
I almost left the moment you mispronounced my name. I was like, do you not know who I am, bro? Come on.
He's world famous.
I will say before we jump in, Joe Kelly is a big signing for you guys. I definitely feel like it. He's I'm assuming he's going to be your closer, right? Or is he starting now?
No, he's a reliever.
Yeah.
He's a reliever?
Yeah, he's going in the middle.
That dude's a legend. Everyone loves him because he treated the Astros.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was watching that video, bro, and he's just he's fucking mocking him.
Yeah.
But I was telling Alan, bro, when I found out that they signed him, I was like, dude, secretly, this is one of the players that I have a man crush on, bro. Like, I'm not lying. So I wanted to ask you ever man crushed on one of the Cubs players, bro?
Bro, I think I could probably like list you the ones that I don't.
Don't?
Rather than ones that I do.
We know number one is Javier Baez.
Yo, Loki, a little underrated, right? My boy Albert Almora, no longer with the Cubs, but when the Cubs were doing the World Series parade, they were on the trolleys, and I got to see the trolleys before they actually like went to parade on the street, and I screamed out, "Yo, Albert!" And he turned my way, and he pointed at me, and I pointed at him, and dude,
boner alert,
legendary. I'm pretty sure that's the day that went home and Gio was conceived.
Oh damn. Based on a man's image. Oh, man.
Also, coming into White Sox territory, I just want you guys to know that I really had to channel my inner power, and I had to bring one of my relics in order to do that. And you want to go ahead and tell the gang where you're looking at?
Show it to the camera. We have cameras. Look at, you can show it right there. Look at that. Boo.
It's my World Series chant ring. If I can get it out, because I have fat fingers.
Let me see it,
Especially
bro.
Let's pass
customized.
it around, you know. Damn.
Wow, I guess the dollar store upgraded, right?
Look at this ring from Walmart. This is from the Walmart clearance section.
Haters gonna hate, you know.
Yeah.
Wait, how'd you come up on that ring?
It was given to me after a long season of hard work,
Nice.
and because I was able to help get us to where we needed to go. My bosses were kind enough to hook me up with it. They know how big of a Cubs fan I am, and this is one of my most prized possessions.
Nice. Forget the baby.
It comes out once a
That-
year.
That's your original baby right there.
Yeah, it comes out, honestly, usually it only comes out on opening day or during playoffs.
Or 100 years. Every
But,
100 years.
Where's your ring, bro? How long has it
I don't have one.
been?
It's been about 13 years. If I do my math right, it's like 18.
That's how long it's been, bro. You can't even think.
Yeah, man. It's okay. I was small, man.
Listen, first of all, I just want to say I have no ill will towards the White Sox at all.
Yeah.
I'm a baseball fan, and funny enough, the Cubs are the only major sports team that I have an allegiance to, right? Like, I love all sports, and I
Yeah.
follow teams, but I follow players more than anything. The Cubs is the only team that, honestly, that I hold dear to my heart. I want them to win every day. I understand when it's a losing season, but I still want them to win every day. I also know this is a hot take. I told you I was going to bring some hot takes, right? And there's going to be a hot take for Cubs fans and Sox fans. I really don't care about the White Sox, man. Like, when it comes to, like, the Cubs and the Sox, like, the only time it will matter is if we face each other in October.
I mean, that's usually when we matter to each other. Because other than that, we don't bring each other's names to our mouth.
Yeah, do you feel though like it's more of a media thing, the rivalry, because like we're all mixed up, bro. Like Cubs, I know a lot of Cubs that live here in the South Side, and I've met a lot of cool Cubs fans. And then now that you bring it up, I'm starting to see that it's almost more like a media, like, or even social media thing to bring up the rivalry. And because like you're saying right now, like no other time do I look into the Cubs or, and it's not on no bad vibe or anything, but, do you feel like it's that way?
I definitely, for me specifically, I feel like it's the fans. I have nothing against the White Sox. I love baseball, and I think what's happening with the White Sox right now is amazing. Rick Hahn is a genius, 100%. But White Sox fans is different, It comes down to your point, like there's a lot of cool people everywhere, right? And we all have different likes and dislikes, and sometimes it just so happens that we could be really good homies, but you go for the Sox and I go for the Cubs, and that's one of the good interactions. But then, you get into some of those Facebook groups and you start seeing some of the things people say, and that's the things that are like, yo, shit, Joe.
Yeah, that happens, man. I follow some pages that are like that, dedicated to the Sox, and nobody even wants to bring up the Cubs. And if they do, it's all bad stuff. So I know where you're coming from.
But I mean, like in a way though, I feel like we're lucky, people from Chicago that, we're able to have two teams, and, we have the option. I always felt like, Cubs fans were more like on the north side when I was younger. So I always had that like almost divided in my head, where I was like, okay, from Roosevelt and up, that's gotta be south,
Yeah.
and then obviously after like Lake and all of that, Lake Street, that's Cubs. But then I realized, like, dude, it doesn't even matter.
Nope.
I almost feel like it's more about the history,
Yeah, and honestly, you asked me if I was going to bring some Cubs history, so here's some right here. To your point, yeah, everyone's super divided. Like, there's people everywhere, right? The main thing is, right, the Cubs are like the Chicago baseball team right now, and it's always been that way because the Cubs were always nationally either televised or on the radio, and all these other states that might not have a baseball team, they got the Cubs feed no matter what. So the reason why I would say that the main reason why the Cubs are so big is because they're the team that a lot of different people from different regions of the country followed. Like that's what was on their TV, so they grew accustomed to watching the Cubs, things like that. I definitely feel like, to your point, I feel like there's a lot of suburban White Sox fans that were not coming out to the stadium during the bad years. I got a chance to go to US Cellular last year or whatever they call it now, and it was full. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I went with my Cubs gear, right?
Yep.
And I had some good time. I had a good time. The Sox fans around me, they were great. We were doing banter. It was a great atmosphere. So.
Yeah.
Again, from a Cubs fan, and I'm not just saying this because these guys are like threatening to put my head on a stick. I've had really good experiences at Sox Stadium, and some of them had to do with the fact that tickets were always super affordable.
Yep.
Maybe I got them from that guy you guys mentioned during the one of the previous podcasts.
The scammer.
The scammer.
Right, but yeah, and here's first of all, Sox was my first ever baseball game. Sox and Cubs.
Nice.
Back in like 2005. Whoa. And then I won a scholarship in high school that had the reception at White Sox Stadium. And there I won a lottery drawing for $10,000 extra on top of the scholarship money.
Nice.
So I have really good experiences at the White Sox Stadium, man, overall. Yeah. So I have no ill will towards them. I wish them the best. But I do. The main thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today is I already said it, man. You know, the Cubs are the main team in town. And honestly, I feel like the White Sox really maneuver around as a small market team when they're a big market team. And I think the reason why that World Series is slipping, why you guys couldn't get to the promised land last year, is because they're not going out and getting those big name players.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of talent. You guys have a lot of talent. Some of it you got it from us. You're welcome.
One.
But overall, like Lance Lynn was great during the regular season last year.
Yeah, dude.
But overall, I feel like that's not the guy that you want to have the ball in his hand when things matter the most. Like, yes, he'll be great like in a 2-3 spot because he's a great pitcher, but you want a John Lester, you want a Max Scherzer, you want a Justin Verlander. That's who you want. And with the caliber of talent that the White Sox have right now, for me, it baffles me that they're not able to go out and say, I'm about to drop this cash to show my fans that we're about it and we want to do it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I second that. I mean, that's basically what we've been talking about this whole time, that they need to bring somebody that's going to be able to do what we need them to do. And I'm sure Mikey could say that.
I mean, yeah, but also like I feel like, you know, through the bad years when it was rebuilding everything, bro, the White Sox were not spending any money, bro.
Nothing.
So like you said, Rick Hahn, right now, him spending the amount of money that he is spending, bro, to a lot of us White Sox fans is like, yeah, you said we are seen as almost an underdog, you know, which I know a lot of people like that, and I can relate because I like, you know, being the underdog, and I feel like it's a lot of people out there that fall in love with teams, bro. So when they do win, they make that big hit. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So that makes you like, and I know like Cubs fans that you guys been through a bunch of shit, you know, to get that ring. But yeah, you're right. You know, you guys are more televised. You guys are more out there than us. And I feel like that's for us, you know, and I've spoke to Alan about this. The fact that we're doing a podcast about the White Sox and we're trying to help out the team, even when they're not looking our way, it's almost something that makes us feel, you know, proudful, bro. You know, that's pride, dude. So, but yeah, dude, there is bigger names out there, but that young talent that we do have, bro, I feel like we learn to almost fall in love with it through time because we're seeing these players grow. You know, sometimes you bring a big ass name to the team, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's cool, he's helping us win, but we haven't seen that growth like Jimenez.
Yeah. Like we were talking about that last time when we brought up we actually exactly the same thing. We brought up LeBron James when he went to the Cavaliers. Like, nobody knew the Cavaliers. Nobody had the Cavaliers in their mind or anything. And then LeBron went over there and they win a championship, and wow, the Cavaliers are on the map all of a sudden. That's kind of what he's saying. Like, we kind of don't want that in a way. But I mean, obviously it's gonna help, but we like the build up. That's what I want to say at least.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, the way that I see it, right, is you have great teams like the Oakland A's, like the Tampa Bay Rays, that never spend any money.
Yeah.
And they're always right there, right? But at the end of the day, at least for me, I definitely feel like what is it coming down to, right? Like, do you want to be a playoff contender every year, or do you want to make that difference? Like, are you willing to, like, the other thing is, right, the way the contracts are set up, like, are you willing to pay for 3 years of great starting pitching and then 3 years of terrible starting pitching?
Right.
You know, but yeah, to your point, Mike, like, I saw this Cubs team. I grew up with this Cubs team, the one that won the World Series for us in 2016. Literally, most of them are my age. Javi Baez is my age. So it's kind of one of those things where it's great seeing these players grow, but like, to your point, like, seeing Rick Hahn actually starting to spend some money, it's a good sign. And man, Tim Anderson's probably one of my favorite baseball players right now. So as long as he's going strong, as long as Jose Abreu continues to go strong, I think the window of opportunity for you guys is at least 3 to 4 years. So
that's literally what we've been saying for 2 months. That's literally what we keep saying. They have max 5 years. That's what we keep saying. Max, with this team, they have 5 years, and if they don't make it, I don't think they will.
And I mean, yeah, and honestly, I would say, obviously, every sport is tough to win in, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's like recreational or at the highest level. But I would say baseball is probably the toughest sport to win in.
Yeah.
They have the most played games year in, year out.
Yeah.
And it comes down to the best teams sometimes end up winning like a little bit more over 50% of their games. That kind of tells you the type of like intangibles that go into baseball as opposed to other sports.
Right.
And I mean, the White Sox are the perfect example. They swept the World Series in 2005.
Yep.
My mom was trying to convert me to a Sox fan back then. She got me the newspaper clipping of Konerko.
So your mom's a Sox fan?
I don't think she cares enough, but literally every major team that we follow as a family, my mom goes against it.
So she's like America and Chivas.
Yeah, she's pretty much like, oh, who's Cruz Azul playing? Oh, well, I want them to win.
How about Bears and Green Bay? Or no football in your house?
Nah, my brother's a Packers fan, and I'm luckily a Patriots fan. So
you like football?
I like football.
Yeah,
I fuck with it.
Bears fan or no?
No. But it's one of those things where, like, to you guys' point, like a few weeks ago, you were talking about like different Chicago teams and who had the best like odds of winning.
Yeah.
I love going to playoff games when these guys are all playing and they're in it. I love going to a bar, and I love seeing my friends being excited about their team winning. And I happened to be at a bar the day of the double doink. And
we don't talk about that.
So the lead up to that,
first mistake, bro.
The lead up to that was awesome. Like, I'm with my buddies and they're all happy, they're excited of what's happening. So I'm getting in the atmosphere. First down, and I'm like, woo, let's go. And then the double doink happened. I was like, ha. At least I'm not a Bears fan.
That's why we don't talk about them, man. Good old Parky, right? That was his name, Parky.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I don't really like know a lot of names and football and the overall strategy. I love watching the games, but I think what the Bears did with Robbie Gould was insane. I can't believe they just let him go, and he went on to be so successful with the 49ers. Especially because Robbie Gould loves Chicago.
Yeah,
like, that dude goes to so many Cubs games. It's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I saw when they beat the Packers in the playoffs, and they were all running in the field. Him and Garoppolo, they were saying fuck the Packers, fuck the Packers. I was like, because obviously this guy's from Chicago, and then the other guy played for the Bears for a long ass time. And now that you're talking about the Bears, they're doing a whole rebuild, bro. And Mac is gone, and a bunch of players are gone. And I don't mind it, but it's like you're saying, you lose out on these big name players.
Yeah, that's what happens when nothing happens in the league. They let the players go and give them a better chance. And we talked about that last time too. Like, if we have a good player and they're not doing good in our team, we have to at least give them a chance in a team where they're going to win. like we like the player, we want them to win somewhere. And if our own team isn't doing it for them, go somewhere where it's gonna happen.
Hell yeah. So I was actually listening to you guys. I didn't know that Jimmy G was from Illinois.
Yeah.
And I have love for Jimmy G because, as you know, he was supposed to be the replacement to the second coming of Christ, Tom Brady. But, Tom Brady was like, nah, hold my beer. I'm going to play for another 15 years.
Right.
So I followed the Niners a little bit because of him. And, yeah, that shit was so funny to me because it's fresh off Aaron Rodgers coming into Chicago and being like, I'm your daddy.
Yeah.
Right? And so Jimmy G was like, all right, hold my beer, bro. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what's going to happen.
That was awesome, too, bro. But yeah, dude, by the way, Tom Brady retired for like 78 hours, and then he said...
Yeah, the baseball blackout lasted longer. That's what they said on social media, that the lockout lasted longer than Tom Brady's retirement.
Yeah, I mean, social media is undefeated overall, and then they were like, Tom Brady lasted 2 months at home with his wife and kids before he decided that he had to go back to work.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I wanted to ask you this, bro. I saw one of your posts on TikTok, and I don't know if you remember it, but I saw that you posted like a wrestler and like cheering. As a kid, were you a big wrestling fan?
All right, so listen, so I'll give you a little bit like an intro to me, right? I came over to the U.S. when I was 12, so that was like in 2003, 2004. So I learned how to speak English watching a lot of like English TV, and wrestling was always on Fridays, SmackDown.
Yep.
And Eddie Guerrero was there, and Rey Mysterio was there, and dude, I couldn't help but fall in love. And I'm a big wrestling fan. I cried when Eddie died. It's to this day.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, till this day, one of the saddest days of my life. Even like thinking back, because we talk about sports figures, right? And like obviously. The passing of Kobe was also big for like our people in our generation, I would say. But overall, big wrestling fan. I was so into it. Even now, like I don't follow it anymore, like on a daily basis, but I'll be scrolling through Facebook sometimes, watching the videos, and randomly a wrestling video will pop out. And then an hour later, here I am still scrolling through, watching more wrestling videos.
Yeah.
So who was your favorite wrestler?
Growing up, Triple H.
Lame.
You, Alan?
Triple H. Growing up, I want to say what he was saying about Eddie. So Eddie, I loved watching Eddie and watching him how he used to wrestle and go around behind the ref's back and grab chairs, grab anything he could hit anybody with, and then throw it at his opponent and pretend he got hit with it. I mean, that was the best part of Eddie, I think that's why I really liked Eddie.
I mean, I loved him too. The only reason he's up there, like, for me, but, his life was cut short tragically. And I think he passed away like 2007, around there. So just because growing up, all the way up until like I finished high school, I really got to see like Triple H's arcs. And, my family started getting a little bit more money. So we started being able to watch Raw on a regular basis. So, I love the game, man. And then DX.
Wait, was Eddie Guerrero or Guerrero one of Chris Benoit best friends?
Yep.
Wow, how tragic, right, dude?
Yeah. That's when I don't want to say it's related to why Chris Benoit killed himself, but it's closely related. He lost a really close friend, and I'm sure he was upset. Because then he killed himself like a year or two after Eddie. So
well, dude, I heard like almost a small documentary about him and his last few days, bro, and it was freaking insane, bro. Like the mentality that this guy had by the end of his life, bro. And I know a lot of people they related his death to like religion and things like that, but I almost feel like. A lot of it has to do with the CTE, right?
Yeah.
The trauma that these guys get, because we think wrestling is fake, bro, but these guys are getting injured like hardcore,
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, a lot of people say wrestling is fake, but the injuries are not. I mean, it might be staged and they might practice and everything, but I mean, there's still room for error in between all that. And the blood is obviously real. If anybody thinks it's fake, it's definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching a video about Owen Hart.
Yeah.
He died in
Yeah.
the ring.
Yeah.
So, whereas the stories might be, prepared ahead of time, the action is very real.
Yeah.
And, anyone that says it's fake, I welcome them to enter the ring.
Right.
Mike,
Yeah.
who's your favorite wrestler?
Dude, my favorite wrestler. Well, I got a little story to it because we're from the borders, Ciudad Juarez, and there was a time where a lot of factories opened up there that they were coming from here, from the U.S., because obviously it's a lot more affordable and cheaper to pay the employees. And you guys know we got a good reputation. Mexican people for working hard, and I pride on that, and I'm sure you guys do too. So they opened up a lot of factories, and they had a factory where they used to make those like almost pillow wrestlers. It was little figures, bro, that their hands were like just on the sides. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I remember those.
So my mom and my dad used to work there, bro. And the first two wrestlers or American wrestlers that I knew about was Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. And forever, those been my favorite wrestlers, bro. And I'm talking early 90s, dude.
Yeah, those are classics right there.
You guys remember those what are they called? Plush toys?
It would be plush. Yeah, it would be a plush.
Dude, amazing, bro. And you're right, bro. I saw on TikTok like a small clip about old school wrestling, and I was scrolling for like 45 minutes, dude, looking for Ultimate Warrior videos, dude. And he passed away sadly too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there was another guy that just passed away. I wish I knew his name.
Yeah,
But again,
like last week.
yeah, I wish I knew his name. But again, like I started watching like mid 2000s. So
Yeah.
a lot of that history before that, it's kind of like obscure to me a little bit. And like I know it kind of like Andre the Giant,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, like in WrestleMania, super iconic.
the legend.
Right, 100%. And like even with getting back to Chicago, even with like the Cubs, I started following during those years, and to this day, Derek Lee and Aramis Ramirez are like up there for me as far as like my favorite Cubs players of all time. And yeah, man, I'm trying to catch up. Like a lot of people, I think you guys mentioned, right? Like you guys, like I'm not sure if you are, but I know you're Mexican by nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay, perfect.
I got the Made in Mexico stamp right
There you
here.
go. yeah. I just wanted to confirm,
The
but
Mexican
I mean,
tramp stamp.
Yeah,
you guys
much.
kind of know. You guys know what it's like, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like a culture shock.
Yeah.
A lot of the
Hell yeah.
coming in here into the U.S. Even now people will be like, "Oh, you never watched this movie growing up?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, in Spanish."
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. With the dubs where the words didn't match the lips, and we.
Well, my first American cartoon that I remember being dubbed like that was Toy Story, bro. The very first one. That was like what, late 90s maybe?
92 when it came out. You probably
No, 92, bro. That's way too early.
No, it came out in 92. Toy Story
Toy
1?
Story?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
serious,
Yeah.
bro?
Holy crap!
Wow, dude. I remember watching it like in 98.
Well, I mean, you could watch it. I mean,
That's how long it took to get to Mexico, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they released it in 92, and I mean, people still watch it. I still watch it.
No, yeah, but I just thought it always felt like it was closer to the 2000s.
No, it was in 92, and then number 2 was like, I think number 2 was like 98, and then number 3 was like closer to that one, and then number 4 took like 15 years.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, now they're making Lightyear.
You could see gray hair on Woody now and everything.
Right, yeah. No, but I mean, it's crazy, yeah, what you were saying about all this, the coming into the U.S. and everything being different, but hey, look at us now. We're more American than Mexican.
America.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and then one of my friends posted something the other day that was like, knowing English and Spanish by having to stutter when you speak both of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
I wanted to ask, is this a good time to give you guys a little goodies that I brought you?
Oh, snap.
shit.
It's never a bad time for goodies.
All right, so we're going to go with Alan first, okay?
Sweet.
Obviously, I know this is the Man Cave, right?
Yeah,
35th
buddy.
Recent Podcast headquarters.
The Man Cave Studio.
And so I thought funny enough, you guys were talking about the Dodgers today, and
Yeah.
the little gift I have for you is commemorating one of the biggest events to happen to the Dodgers, aside from winning the World Series, and maybe led to the Dodgers winning the World Series. So, give me 1 second.
Sure, nice, man. This is the kind of guest that we need to have. So if you want to come through and you're not bringing shit. Oh, look at that, bro.
This is a Magic Johnson commemorative bobblehead.
Damn, bro.
Look at
Another
that.
MJ, dude.
Nice.
That was
Look
the
at
was the
that.
year that he bought the team with the group that he bought him with. So I thought it'd be a nice addition to your bobbleheads and the setup
Yeah.
that you have here.
Nice. Thanks,
Wow.
bro.
Out of my special collection, by the way.
Yeah, I could
shit.
see the dust on it.
Yeah. Those sit on my shelf, bro.
Let's show it to the camera right there. Put it closer. You can see it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
So-
amazing.
So yeah. Oh, by the way, anybody listening, I am recording this episode. So if you're listening, I didn't want to bring it up too soon because I didn't want you to switch from audio to the video. But I am posting the video on YouTube. So we're gonna post the whole podcast on YouTube. By the way.
Awesome. And now, to my boy Mike. They were joking around last time about how me and Mike met, and it's not because we had a business person in common. It's because Mikey and I have known each other for a while from playing soccer, things like that. But this podcast has really opened me to like a different side of you. Like I'm a team-oriented guy overall, so playing with people and like getting down into the trenches with them, like really shows you who the person is, right? And we might not have like a crazy like connection outside of that, but getting to hear you guys on the podcast has really showed me that other side of you. And yeah, last week you were talking about how you started getting into baseball cards.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that I actually got into baseball cards right after pandemic too.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And I don't want
A
to
hobbyist? You became a hobbyist?
a little bit. I haven't I don't have it like laid out in binders and things like that.
Yeah.
But I definitely do have a good amount of them now, and
Nice.
I don't care to say how much I've spent. But I haven't bought like special cards or anything like that. I've literally like gotten the trading cards that you get at the store, things like that. And I know you were talking about, bro, how you want to like kind of have that be like a little bit of a legacy for your son and things like that. And I was like, yo, let me see how we can work something out here. And I stayed up yesterday. I was supposed to go to sleep at 10 because I only slept 3 hours the night before. But I went through all of my baseball cards and I tried to arrange for you a deck, which essentially has players. It has every MLB team from 2020. It has a few cards for them. It has a bunch of White Sox cards just for you.
I'm already excited, dude.
And the last thing is we actually have some special cards too from my collection as well. So let me give them to you.
Nice, bro. Dude, I'm freaking. This dude is, I think, is the first man that's giving me goosebumps. Ever,
Who's
bro.
your man crush, bro?
Besides Joe Kelly,
Besides Joe
Right.
Kelly?
I got a couple of them out there, but
All right.
I don't want to break the spell.
Now you got a new one.
So I'm gonna give you to see the special ones first, and then when you're at home, you can really go through all of them because it's 2 boxes full of them. So, sorry, I'm.
So
over here
this
falling
portion
apart.
of the podcast it would be better enjoyed in video version.
Right. The first one will be a rookie card for Cal Ripken of the Orioles. This is a special edition card that was released in 2020. One of my,
Damn, bro. Look at this, dude.
Damn.
Amazing, bro.
and then I think you'll like this one too. There's a little Tim Anderson action.
Oh,
Special
no
card,
way,
bro.
dude. Damn, bro.
There's a bunch of rookie cards too in the decks that I give
Damn,
you.
you're hitting the heart, bro.
Bro, I got
Hitting the
this
G-spot.
the OG before the OG or after the other OG, Ken Griffey.
Yeah, dude. Look, Alan's blushing right now, dude.
bobblehead back.
Yeah. I have another junior right here, Vladdy.
Damn,
That's a Chrome
dude.
edition card.
Wow, bro.
This one's thick. It's a thick daddy card
Yeah,
over
it's
here.
thick.
All right, then I have these 3 right here, right? They're super cool cards, but I'm an idiot and I damage them in the process of opening the packs originally, but they're cool cards to have regardless. And so this doesn't like carry on too long. The last two I want to share is a Luis Aparicio card and a Chris Sale Red Sox card.
Oh man,
I know y'all got mad
dude.
love for
Chris Sale.
Chris Sale, yes sir.
Wow.
Damn, bro. Thank you very, very much, bro. I appreciate it.
Mikey's the homie, you know, so I had to come
Thank
in,
you,
show
bro.
love. You guys decided to have me on here. I couldn't not bring you guys something, you know. So
Yeah.
Damn, bro. You're freaking awesome, bro.
that's for you.
Appreciate it.
It's for you, big
Appreciate the
homie.
gifts, man.
Thank you,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. And just go hand in hand with that. Like, I just want to tell you guys, like, I wasn't just lobbying to be on the podcast. I've definitely like had a lot of fun listening to you guys. I commute to work every day like everyone else.
Yeah.
And I essentially listen to podcasts every day. And I made you guys a part of my morning every day.
Nice.
And
every
like,
Thursday?
yeah, I'm sorry, every Thursday. Well, I mean, sometimes I don't listen the week of. So like, it'll be a treat back-to-back episodes. Yeah. But you guys are doing amazing things here. I was super pumped to find out that you guys were doing it. I kind of want us to maybe get into a little bit more how you guys, like your experience, you know, so that me as an audience person and like everyone else kind of understands the trials and the struggles of a content creator.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to really show that love and let you guys know that I'm not just BSing. I listen to you guys consistently, and
Well, we could tell, man. You're bringing out past episodes.
yeah,
like nothing. So we appreciate it, man.
and the main reason I wanted to come on here is to challenge you guys on some of these views, and maybe we can get into that a little bit later. But I'll be driving to work, and I'll be like, okay, you said this, but no, this is another thing that maybe
Right.
you could have considered, and I
Yeah.
think that's my favorite part of it, the fact that. I'm not sure if you guys mean to do it, but it's super interactive. Like everything that you guys talk about, I want to have a response to.
You're over there in your car getting mad at what we're saying.
Yeah, I'm road raging at poor innocent people, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, well, now you're here, man. Give us all you got.
Well, the first thing was for Mikey, going back to the MLS thing and how they're like a minor league team or minor league, like maybe. But I invite you, sir, to go to a Chicago Fire game because MLS fans are insane.
Yeah, they are.
Like, dude, like they're getting to the level of like not necessarily like English Premier League teams, but they have a following. I got a chance to go with my dad to a Fire game and my brother last year, and like the ¿cómo se llama? The porra, or how would you say that in English?
I have no. Just we're bilingual podcast. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, the fans there's fans that travel with the team.
Yeah.
And they have their own
Fan base?
section. Yeah. Like they have a section in every stadium that they go to. I also have a friend that actually works for the new MLS team in Austin, and they took off insanely. And I think that's where Mexico's playing a lot of their games now, and the U.S.
Right.
And to your point, yeah, they're expanding. But it's definitely an atmosphere that I think you'll have a lot of fun in.
Yeah.
And not saying that you're wrong or anything, because they're expanding right now, and the reason why they're expanding is because they are gaining that popularity, and they have guys like what's his name, Serginho or Sergio Dest in Barcelona. They have Pulisic and in Chelsea. They have somebody else in Dortmund. So
the sub goalkeeper too, right? He's plays for Manchester City.
yeah, and I
He's
think
the starting goalkeeper for the U.S. national team as well.
I think it's funny. It might be funny, but like the U.S. has great goalies. I feel like that's the case with Mexico too, but the U.S. also has great goalies overall.
They do, bro. And as a matter of fact, now that you're bringing this up, there is this team. Our Bayern Munich signed this guy called Pepe. I can't remember his first name, but I brought it up. I don't know if you remember that Pepe is nephew to my mom, but on my grandpa's side of the family. So it's not like we're too close. But my uncle brought it up when we were watching the game. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's my cousin's son," and I was like, "Whoa!"
Oh,
and then I started seeing him play in the national team, bro. And then I heard he got signed by Bayern Munich, but he got sent to a smaller team, obviously to gain some experience. And I was like, damn, that's cool. And the reason why I said that on the Twitch is because I feel like it is a newer league, bro, and it is growing. But I feel that a lot of that has to do with the Latino support, right? Because I mean, U.S. was almost like hungry for soccer.
Yeah. I think that's right. And honestly, I think just growing up and kind of like understanding the fan bases and things like that, I feel that soccer is kind of like hockey a little bit in that there's pockets of fans, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a soccer fan, if like your kid is incredibly good and he has like this opportunity to maybe go play abroad, or he's actually playing like for a scholarship in college, right? But to your point, like on the American side, not necessarily including Hispanics, I think that those pockets of fans have always existed. But to your point, the fact that Latinos spread and we're everywhere, like that also brings a need for that. So when I was in Ohio, one of the people that I was working with, he's actually he oversees is like with his area, the Columbus Crew. And I was just thinking about it, like Columbus, this is where Mexico played a lot of their international games growing up.
Right.
So we're everywhere. So yeah, to your point, like up and coming 100%, but like the atmosphere is crazy.
Yeah. And now they just moved to Soldier Field, so it's going to be even crazier because they did it when you went to the game last year. Was it in Soldier Field already?
Yeah.
So yeah. So the year before, it was 2020, before 2020 is when they were still in Toyota Park, which is now known as SeatGeek Field. But they were there, and I don't think they got so many fans to visit there because of the location.
Right.
And now that it's in Soldier Field, I think, like you said, they're gonna blow up even faster. And they just one of my buddies was telling me they just signed a real good player to Chicago Fire. So maybe
Shaqiri.
Oh yeah, Shaqiri.
Yeah, him. Yeah. So I mean, who knows? Maybe sooner than later, like you said, they're gonna be a team that we hear about more often because you never hear about Chicago Fire.
Right. I invite you guys. I know you guys have interesting work schedules, but we're actually going to a game with our soccer buddies, which a lot of them. So if you guys have the chance, I'll let you know the date, the time, and we'll see if we can link it up.
That'd be nice, dude. And we could even throw some of that content on the podcast and stuff.
The other thing I listened to and I was like really pumped about is how you guys are talking about going to like the tailgating for the White Sox.
Yeah.
And actually doing like some content there. I was like, man, that would be so lit. Like doing some trivia or like something like that.
Yeah.
Or like I've seen a lot of like videos like, oh, for $1, can you answer this question? Or like things like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that if it does materialize. And
it will.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, we I bought some material for the go. I bought some microphones and everything. So it's gonna happen. You best believe. We're less than a month away from the season starting, and we already have our tickets to our first game, so we're gonna do it on the first game. So,
dude, it's like I mentioned on a couple episodes ago. Like if you're a baseball fan, bro, and throughout the lockout, like we were fiending for it. We heard no news, like because usually during other years you'll hear like, oh, this team got this guy and they're trading this guy and that. So that kind of keeps you like up to date, and then you're like, oh, I wanna watch this guy with that new team, whatever. But it was completely dry, bro. Yeah. So when Alan texts me like, dude, lockout is done with, we're getting baseball back. And then the day after we were recording the episode, dude, I text him in the morning like, dude, let's go to Guarantee Rayfield and make some promos, bro. Like in the morning, we were right in front, walking the employees, walking in the building, bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah! I saw those, and I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, oh man, they're so cute together. Look at them.
we got more videos to release, so that was just one.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I think to your point, like I think we're all excited. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be crazier as far as the floodgates opening and free agents being signed, but I feel like it's been relatively like slow. I really thought it was gonna be a little faster that the major players are gonna drop, but I am a little hurt. My boy Chris Bryant just signed with the Rockies. Rizzo's with the Yankees. Baez had signed with the Tigers before the lockout. So we'll see what happens.
So he's a Tiger. Officially, he's a Tiger.
Yeah. He signed pre-lockout.
Okay.
So he's gonna be over there.
Talking about all these different teams. Let me ask you a quick question. I don't know if you heard what we talked about in the last podcast about the new MLB rules. This one isn't gonna happen to the 2023 season. But how do you feel about the teams being able to face both leagues now?
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, there's gonna be a new rule in 2023. So like for us, me and Mike were talking about going to St. Louis, just because I have been to St. Louis and I went to a Cardinals game. And Sox don't play the Cardinals, the Cubs do.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I'm like, dude, that's a real nice stadium. I don't know if you've been to it, but it's a really nice stadium. So I told him, let's go. It's only a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
So once they released these rules, I told him right away, I'm like, yo, the Cardinals are now gonna be playing the Sox.
Yeah, honestly, I think I mentioned this to you a little bit ago, but I go into hibernation. Once the baseball season ends, I'm like, all right, let me get into February, March. Let me gather myself. Try to remember that I'm not just a crazy fan. I also have a life. But essentially, I've been to St. Louis. I've been to a bunch of, I've been to every National League Central stadium.
Oh, nice.
And then I've been to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And right before pandemic, I had to cancel the trip, but I was gonna do with some friends the California trip and try to fit in all the teams in 1 week.
Oh, nice.
Obviously that didn't work out, but I think that's hype, man. I like that. I think it's gonna make things more competitive. To getting back to a little shot at your White Sox, you know, like they did benefit from having a super easy schedule last year, and I think facing tougher opponents will definitely help them overall. Not necessarily like I wish that, you know, they're gonna face them and now they're gonna have a losing record.
Right.
No, much more like it's important because you see it all the time, even in playoffs. Like the teams that win first and then they go a week without playing, without facing any real competition, just doing like scrimmage games. They're the ones that lose because they lose that competitive edge. Yeah. And essentially, I think the White Sox last year, you know, had a lot of good wins. Like you have to sweep, you have to win series against those bad teams so that you can split series against the good teams. But you also gotta beat those good teams more often than not. And if you finish 50-50 against them, like you're not necessarily in a position to say like, we're like a hot contender going into playoffs. But I think that's gonna help them more than hurt them. They're gonna gain that experience and they're gonna know how to face the Yankees, the Astros, the Dodgers, back to back, and that's gonna help them to overall, at the end of the day, prevail. So
that's one thing we did talk about them playing some teams that are a little bit harder, and some that are not. Like literally what you said. So it's hopefully that happens and they learn from it and they become better. Like you said, even if they lose half of the games with a better team, you know. That's the way they gotta learn, though.
Yeah, I noticed that when they played the series versus the Yankees, bro, like they almost won every game. We won the Field of Dreams game. That was freaking amazing. But you're right, you know, and I did tell Alan this. Like, if we want to get to the World Series, bro, we gotta beat these teams like during regular season. That way, you get that confidence because you're not gonna go into playoffs and think, oh, I'm gonna whoop the shit out of freaking the Red Sox or you know a team like that where they got more experience during playoffs. We're a team that makes it to the playoffs as far as you know we can add up, like maybe every 7 years. Yeah, I mean every 5 years.
You're back to back so far since baseball opened back.
But it's like you guys were saying, like it's like a 5-year window with with the players that you have, and once that's over with, then we're gonna rebuild again, and it's gonna take another 7 years.
Yeah, baseball's interesting like that, especially with teams that are not willing to just throw their wallet at everyone. So like if you're not the Yankees, if you're not like the Red Sox, the Dodgers, it's tough because if you understand the game, right? Like there's people that don't. There's people that just follow like because you know they're prideful about their team. But if you really understand what you have on your hands, like it really comes down to that. Like you know your window's always closing. Your window's always closing, and you just gotta try to you just gotta try to capitalize.
Yeah, that's what we keep bringing up. Like, yo, you guys have max 5 years. You gotta do something, or you're gonna lose it all.
I mean, before the big teams come and snatch Luis Robert or Tim Anderson. By the way, I wanted to bring this up before I forget. I heard an interview with Chuck Arfine, and he's got another podcast in Spotify and a bunch of other apps. He interviewed Tim Anderson during the week in spring training, and he said, I would like to be a Chicago White Sox player for the rest of my career. I don't see myself leaving the White Sox, and I hope that management can keep it that way, because I see myself retiring in this shirt. Dude, I felt that like so close to my heart, bro. I was like, oh my God, I can see you retiring with the Sox too. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's it's a market, and this runs with money, so we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they meet all his requirements to make that happen.
Well, let me ask you this, bro. How was the feeling when last year when Rizzo and Javi left?
It was the best way that I can put it is, you remember that scene in Titanic when all the musicians are like, this is it, fellas.
Yeah.
And they played their last song, and honestly, that was like the closing of that chapter. Damn. It was overall the closing of that chapter, and I wouldn't trade it for it. Like, I just got chills thinking about it. Like, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, man. Like, at the end of the day, it's a business. Owners are billionaires, players are millionaires. And as far as like being a fan, $1 million could change any of our lives, right? But to them, it's like, if you're a player, you know what type of money everyone's making out of your likeness, right?
Yeah.
You know the team's getting money for you being a part of the team. And at the end of the day, for us, it's like for them, for like looking at us, we're like, oh, that's pennies on the dollars to you guys, right? But they're playing for something else, And honestly, I see it as a business first, because I am so engulfed within the game, and I'm like a big fan. So it was sad. It was super sad to see them go, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. And yeah, man, like there was times during those playoffs that we'd be at bars when the team was away, run over to the marquee, start singing "Go Cubs Go" a cappella, bro. I have videos saved. If I could share with you guys, maybe at some point later on, after we finish. But yeah, man, like I wouldn't trade it for anything. I got to be at the stadium watching the game as a fan when the Dodgers were playing against the Cubs, when we got Aroldis Chapman. Yeah, it was literally like almost a surreal, like religious experience for me, because the loudness in that stadium, like it was like almost like pressing on you. And I'm gonna mention this to like the game to you guys. So essentially, I got free tickets to go to that game, and I watched Miguel Montero hit a grand slam, and honestly, like the loudest place I've ever been in my life.
Damn.
And then Aroldis Chapman comes in, and I can't remember what song he walks into, but like it's a super intimidating heavy metal song, like bah bah bah.
Yeah.
Yo, one of the craziest experience of my life, and that's why I'm so excited for you guys, man. I told you, like for all sports teams for Chicago, anyone that follows them that I'm close to, and they're like, hey, let's watch a game, I'm going, and I'll be happy for you guys no matter what. But there's something about baseball that's so fucking romantic, and I love it.
Yeah, bro. You're right. That's why we made this podcast.
And it's nostalgic too, bro. Like I said, and I told Alan, like, bro, it's almost like us as human beings, we're always trying to keep a souvenir or something, bro. Because at the end of the day,
or steal it, right?
Yeah, something, bro. It's whatever it is, freaking that like if you see yourself gone. And you always want to say, like, oh, when my kids look at this, I want to be remembered that way. And I feel like baseball is almost in touch with that, because if you like baseball, what do people that love baseball, they always talk about guys that used to play 50 years ago, 20 years ago. And then you bring it up to your son now, and now he's looking into it, and he's falling in love with the game even more.
Yeah, I watched a documentary about the Red Sox when they won, and it was like a sports writer recorded the day that they won, and his son was like 7 at the time. And for me, like everything that he just said, like comes into fruition, like in that video, because the kid's 7 years old, doesn't know about no Curse of the Bambino, nothing.
Yeah.
And they win, and he just busts out crying. And whose emotion is that? Like that's the father's emotion being projected onto the kid. So it's such a legacy thing. And yeah, to your point, it's like we'll be looking back at these teams like 10, 15, 20 years down the line, and you'll be able to say, I watched Tim Anderson play.
So do you think that you pass that on through your DNA, like you know, your when you impregnate your girl, like you think you passed some of that? You can that be possible?
Yo, honestly, I'm gonna tell you this: if my son is not a Cubs fan, I'm gonna go straight to get a DNA test.
Well, I mean, we do know you conceived him by getting a boner from a Cubs guy, so I mean, I wouldn't see why not.
Right? No, but I mean, overall, I think I think it does. It's translated, not necessarily like, oh, like you're embedded to be a Cubs fan, or as White Sox fan, but as you grow up, like they'll have the same. They're half of you, so they'll have the same tendencies that you have. Like, I have a super addictive personality, so everything that I'm into, like I'm into heavy, and I'm sure some of that's gonna relate. And he sees me.
Too.
But yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, it's definitely something that I think relates to our kiddos. And
Well, crazy that you bring that up though, because my son is 2 years old, bro, and I took him to his first game last summer, bro. I took both my daughters and my kid, and it was his first game, bro. And we're walking in there, and the White Sox hit a home run, and we're just sitting down, bro. And I look at him, and he's got his little hands up, dude, and he's screaming, bro. And I'm like, dude, it's like the way I felt, bro. It's not. I can't even describe it, bro, because I was like you don't teach them that stuff, you know. Even if it was a different team, just the fact that he knew that was an exciting moment, and he showed that emotion, bro. I was like, wow, dude.
Chills.
Chills,
bro.
Yeah, it's crazy how pretty much like it's our job to make sure they like what we like.
Right. So let me ask you guys this now. How much are you going to like embed like them actually playing a sport into their lives?
Well, my daughter's already in one. Not the one I like, but she's in one. My daughter plays soccer, but I do want her to play softball because I play softball. I mean, I know the girls' league is different than the men's league, but softball is softball. You know, it's still the same. But I would like her to play something I like, and I played it so I could help her with it, you know? Like, I've never played basketball, so I wouldn't want her to play I mean, she could, but I wouldn't be able to help her as much as I would if she played softball. Because I played it, I know the rules, I know everything. It's similar to baseball, so I could help her with that, and I definitely want her to play softball. And I'm counting down the days till I could put her in a little league, so trust me, I'm working on it.
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, you wish they play your favorite sport, right? But it's not always like that. But if you, whatever you teach them, bro, and sometimes they're like, man, I want to make my daddy proud.
Well,
you know?
well, we just talked about that like 2 or 3 episodes ago with Michael Jordan. We brought it up that his dad wanted him to play baseball. And he ended up playing basketball. So, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Like, no matter how much you influence your kid to like something, at the end of the day, it's their decision.
Right, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Myself, I'm putting a baseball and a soccer ball in front of him from the moment he's able to kick one and throw one, and he's going to take me to the top, man, I'm sure.
and also a controller.
Yeah, bro.
A mouse and keyboard.
He's going to be the youngest kid with the best gaming setup. So...
I want to make my daddy proud.
I'll be a TikToker like my dad.
Got the little fake cameras and the tripods and everything.
With the YouTube, what's going on today, man? Listen. So my girl will take him over whenever I'm streaming, and like put him on the microphone, and like he starts talking. Like, oh,
that's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what about? Tell me what it's been like the past 2 months for you guys. Creating this.
Well, I'll start it off. So, you don't have me on Snapchat, but on Snapchat before we started doing our little podcast, I tried to do my own. since I have pretty much everything. I have everything to do the stream and everything, record and all that. I wanted to do my own, and I was messing around and kept telling people I'm gonna start one, and people were actually hyping me up. Like literally, like a bunch of people kept telling me, "Yo, do it, do it. This looks dope. I like your setup, this and that." And I even posted like a little logo for my channel and all that. And I tried it. I literally recorded once for like 5 minutes, bro. It wasn't easy because I'm alone. Doing a podcast by yourself. I tried it for 5 minutes, bro. I think I ran out of something to talk for in the first 3 minutes, and it wasn't. I kind of crushed my own dreams by doing that. So I mean, I had to find out the hard way, and then like I said, I stopped doing that. I stopped trying to like go forward with that, and I have Miguel, Mike on Snapchat, and I guess he was trying to do something on his own, and then he went off of me. And so I'll let you tell your part now, and then we'll connect them.
Yeah, I met this guy on TikTok, bro, and he does a lot of White Sox content. And he was doing a live, so I was like, man, you know, your content is good, bro. You should do a podcast. And then he was just like, oh, yeah, we'll talk later. So that kind of, I was like, whoa, like, is he saying that I'm, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, could I be in it? And I had thought about making a podcast, like, maybe about a year and a half ago. But I always looked into, like crime, bro. Like, true crime, because I love that stuff. I love learning about serial killers and all that stuff, dude. And I was like looking into that, but freaking I was like, man, dude, that's hard, because if you want to have a good true crime podcast, you got to get like police reports and all that, because you got to base everything off of facts. Like, you can't freaking make up shit, like, you know. And obviously with like sports, everything's out there, you know. You just got to find the right web page, whatever. Or like, you know, if you love a baseball team, you're gonna know, you know what I'm saying? So, but then, you know, shit happened, and this guy was like, oh, you know, he was on, like, thinking of other plans and this and that. So I was like, whatever. And then maybe it's not going to happen. But one time, one of the days, we were playing clubs, FIFA. And I was with one of your homies, bro. And me and him were just going back and forth laughing, dude. And he's like, oh, somebody told me that I should have a podcast because I'm funny and this and that. And I was like, oh, yeah, bro, you know, that'd be cool. I was like, but you got to put hard work into it. You got to create. You got to get the right stuff, the right equipment, woo, this and that. And I went to sleep, bro. And in the morning when I woke up, I was like, why can't I do that? If I feel like I know about it, why can't I do that, bro? And that was the day, like, that same day I saw Alan, dude, trying to go solo with the podcast. And then I was like, dude, let's do it. Like, everything, like, connected. Everything, yeah. And I ran to freaking Guitar Center, and I bought 2 mics. I bought the equipment, bro. And I was like, that's it. No more lacking on it. If I'm going to do it, like, let's just go for it.
Yeah, we started 2022 with a bang. So then after we pretty much joined forces, we out of nowhere just said, let's do it. Before we launched our first episode, we did a practice one, a mock episode a week before. We recorded and everything. We didn't submit it, we didn't post it, and then we listened to it and we said, yo, this is good. And the only thing we were like kind of afraid of, like he talked about, like there's no sports, or at least no baseball, and that's what we did it based on. And we were like, but what are we gonna talk about? And at the end of the day, we were like, let's just do it, and we'll go with the flow. And you know, look at us, 10 episodes in already, and finally baseball's back. So I mean, like we keep saying, if we kept with it without baseball, now the baseball's back, forget about
and
it.
Now we got a guest.
Our guest,
so
yeah.
You know, that's why I said this marks the before and after, bro. And it's so cool that, you know, you came in here and you were willing to you know, take time of your schedule, bro, to come in and wake up early and have go on a bit of sleep only, bro. And like, it's freaking exciting, and we appreciate it, bro, because not only are you our first guest, but this is basically our first trial with a third person.
And
you know?
not only that, I mean, just so everybody listening knows, like we're not like you were saying yourself, we're not biased against the Cubs fans. See, our first guest is literally a diehard Cubs fan. So I mean, we're up for it. We are here for anyone, and we appreciate you coming in, man. So appreciate you taking your time for real.
Oh yeah, I love being the guinea pig. You know, it's awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy you say that. Like, I think I have a similar experience with that. Like me having like my gaming channel, it's something that I wanted to do too. Just kind of do like and I did it a few times, like a 10-minute just podcast style like conversation, and it's so hard.
Yeah,
like to talk to you. Like you have to be like you have to have some psychopath like tendencies in order to do that. I feel like overall, but yeah, I mean, like for me, it's like I've been so into your podcast. Like obviously, one, because I enjoy the content that you make, but also because I feel like you guys are like-minded, like me. You know, like you finally decided, like, you know. For me, it's much more like, and you can tell me if I'm hitting nails or not, but essentially I was kind of like, you know, like now I have the money to like do it. Like, you know, like if I can do like my own gaming setup, and I watch all these other people do it regardless. And to your point, like you follow different people, and you're like, well, why couldn't I do it?
Yeah.
Like you literally said that. And for me, that's kind of like where it comes down to. I think you guys, I already said it, you guys are doing great things, and you know, we're all managing life essentially. You know, we're all dads, and we have full-time jobs and full-time dad responsibilities, and it gets interesting at times, 100%. But the fact that you guys are grinding, for me, it's like, yo, it's good to see like immediate people that like, you know, like flesh and bone, not just like behind a camera or behind a microphone that you know that I can relate to and be like, they have similar goals than I do. Like,
and
you
likewise,
and you 100%, you're like, you know, this could turn into something big, right? If it doesn't, I'm having fun doing it no matter what. And it's awesome, bro. So continue the grind, man. You guys make my Thursday mornings.
Thank you, bro. You wanna plug your social media and all that stuff, bro, before we start heading out?
Yes, sir. So you can find me, spelling it out is ikk4ze. It's the gaming tag that I came up with when I was a shorty, 17, 18 years old.
Oh, a tagger.
The I, just, it's literally like, I don't want to get trademarked, but you guys can figure out what the I is for. And then the K's is kind of like a play on word for, or a abbreviation of kamikaze.
Right. Okay.
So that's what that is. And once I started streaming, you know, like a lot of people are like, how do you say your name? And, you know, like I play
like
a lot.
Like us.
Yeah. And so I play a lot with people that, you know, that are Spanish speakers, and they're like, oh, ikk4ze. And I'm like, yo, that's cool. That sounds lit. But then like other people like are like, oh, ikk4ze or ikk4ze. And I'm like, nah, it's ikk4ze. It's ikk4ze for you guys. But TikTok, ikk4ze, that's where I'm popping off the most. I post daily on TikTok.
Yeah, well, me, I'll put in all your info on our description, and I'm sure if I'm putting this up in videos, I'll make it pop up somehow on the screen. And thank you. Should we ask him a hot seat question, man?
You got one?
I mean, I'm gonna ask him the first one I asked you. Why not?
I have one for you guys too.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, let's go. Well, if you listen to our podcast, you should know the question, but I'll bring it up again. So there's this man that walks up to your door, and he knocks on the door. Yo, ikk4ze, a case. Walks up to your door. Hey, man. So I'm here to ask you this question, and you have no way out but to.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So he has a little box in his hand, and he opens the box, and there's a button in the box, and you have pretty much two options, and you have option one. You could get anything in the world, anything you want. That's like you could touch all your five senses, pretty much. It can't be anything like, oh, make me fall in love with someone or something like that.
Physical, right?
Yeah, it has to be something physical. You could grab, touch, feel, smell, taste, whatever you want. So you press the button and receive that. So you could wish for $200 million, and boom, you get it in your hand. But you press that button, and somebody you love dies. Somebody you love, or
do I get to pick?
No. Then you don't love them. So somebody you love dies, and it doesn't. It won't be. you won't get, like you said, you won't get to pick who. So could be your son, could be your wife, could be your mom. It's random. So
Could be me.
Tear.
So you press it, somebody dies, but you get what you wanted. Or you could take the selfish way out, unselfish way out, and not press it, but you die.
But I die.
You die.
I'll die.
That was fast. That was the
Wow,
fast.
that's dude. Kamikaze.
Kamikaze.
Yeah, bro.
And what you guys don't know is he has a bomb strapped to his chest right now, and this is everybody's last video and content going up. That's it. We're done with.
We're done.
He pressed the.
You
no,
might not
he
even
didn't
live-
press the button.
Yo, I came in here Joker style. I have my.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that went faster than
Okay,
expected.
I guess goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in.
I mean, no, honestly, like my reasoning is like, like everything is fleeting, man.
Yeah. Well, I get that question from T-Pain's podcast. I listen to his podcast.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much one of the reasons people don't press the button in his game. They're like, well, I've lived a long life. I have everything I ever wanted.
Right.
So why kill somebody else? And that's why I said that's the unselfish option.
But you're so young, though. don't
Hey.
go.
You have a lot to live.
Can I keep your baseball card?
let me
bro?
let me get that ring on your hand, even though it's Cubs.
Right.
I want the baseball cards. Fuck all that. Bro.
Hey, I didn't say I was gonna keep it, man. I'm gonna put it on eBay.
He's gonna pawn it, bro.
All right.
To get
Well,
an extra mic.
what did Mikey say?
Oh yeah, I said I'll press that button because I want to own the Chicago Bears.
he said he'll own manage the Bears. Yo.
Yeah, so
Show him how the immigrants can handle us. A Bears,
Oh,
a Bear,
hell yeah,
football
dude.
team.
He'll go to Home Depot and just, hey, $20, come out.
We need to fix the stadium. Vámonos.
hey,
Yeah.
if you can toss a brick, from, if you can toss a heavy ass brick, you can toss a football, bro.
All right. Well, as you say, you had your own hot seat question, and go for it.
All right, this is for both of you, okay?
Go for it.
All right, you're able to get Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani for the White Sox, but you have to erase either Frank Thomas or Paul Konerko from White Sox history.
Damn. We have to?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What the
Damn.
fuck? He just said you have to.
Damn. Well, I gave him an option. He didn't give us an option, man. I said you have an option. He didn't even give us that.
Low key, you have 4 options, right? You could say I want Mike Trout, or you can say I want Mike Trout and Shohei, and I'm giving up Frank and Paulie.
Damn, man.
Or you can say Mike
You
for
answer first,
Frank.
man.
I'm gonna keep history, bro. I'm gonna keep Thomas, and I'm gonna keep who else you said? Oh, Konerko, bro.
Yeah.
There, you can't erase that. That's
Yeah.
part of White Sox.
Especially because they both did their part in the World Series, even though it's been a while.
And it goes back to what I was saying. Do you see these players come from nothing
Yeah.
to Hall of Famers, dude?
Yeah.
And I know Konerko will be there one day.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I guess I'm backing up his response too.
Wow.
So I
What
guess
a
we
simp.
we gave you simple answers too, huh? we care about our Sox history and we don't want to change it. I'm sure you would do the same.
I don't know.
I mean,
dude.
Depends on who you put on the line.
It's like if you when somebody looks at that Cubs shirt, isn't there a face that always comes with it? Like who is
Yeah.
a face that comes with a Cubs jersey?
Like for me,
Yeah.
Carlos Zambrano.
you know what? This might be controversial, but slamming Sammy, baby.
There you go. There you go.
The Caucasian Sammy or the black Sammy?
Whoever it is, as long as he hit bombs.
Yeah, or the skinny Sammy from the early White Sox.
Again, stealing bases.
Yeah,
Doing all
dude.
these
Yeah,
things.
man. Awesome.
Well, this has been a great episode, and we really appreciate our homie being here. We hope that soon he'll be back, and I'm pretty sure he will.
Yeah, because we wish we could keep going, and we can, but we don't want to make this a 3-hour podcast like Joe Rogan.
Right? You're gonna
Well, yeah.
start selling. What does he sell? You're gonna start selling Alpha Brain soon.
On it.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for taking the time of your day to come here and checking out our awesome studio. And we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you guys for having me. I can now say that I was here at the beginning, kind of like those people at
Yeah.
the comment section
Yeah.
first. So
First.
very first, and I'm looking forward to the lost tapes of the 35th Reason podcast when you release that episode that didn't make it to start out. But thank you guys for having me. It was a great, awesome experience, and look forward to coming back someday.
Yeah, so everybody, just so everybody knows, we just popped his cherry on his very first podcast.
Also, I brought you guys something, but so then that's why I was ending the show, so I can get up and get you guys whatever I brought, and then I'll see you guys can record your last reactions to it.
So you
We'll
don't
edit that
want
out.
to put that in the podcast?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But since I'm getting up, I probably won't say anything anymore.
Okay.
You know?
All right, so go for it. We'll keep it going over here
Yeah.
without you.
Without you.
Yeah, I mean, we have 2 people over here anyways.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, I have a question for you, man.
Yeah.
So, gaming question. So, are you play Warzone or do you also play like Vanguard and all that?
I don't play Vanguard.
No, do you own it
Black
or
Ops. I own them all.
Oh,
I
you
own,
do,
I
but you
own
don't
them
play
all.
it.
I don't play them. I feel like they're a disrespect to what Modern Warfare was.
A lot of people feel like that about Vanguard. I was actually just playing it yesterday. I like it.
It's all right. I mean, it's not the worst. I think it's very. I think it's similar to Black Ops. I was a big fan of Black Ops 4.
Black Ops 4?
but then-
a lot of people like Black Ops 1.
Yeah, so Black Ops. I didn't play the Black Ops series that much.
No?
Black Ops 4 was like my first game coming back into Call of Duty.
Okay.
But I think overall, the new Modern Warfare revolutionized what a first-person shooter is.
Yeah.
So now, like every other game that comes out has to compete against that.
Yep.
I play the main game I play is Rebirth. And
Rebirth.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
that's what you'll see me pop out on the most.
Yeah, I play mostly like Vanguard or Battle Royale. Rebirth, I don't play it that often, and the last time I played, I hadn't played it in a while, and literally first or second game I won. I mean, it's only 40 people in the game, but I still ended up winning.
Yeah. I mean, and you were talking smack, so I look forward to that 1v1 on Rust.
And Rust
To share to everyone.
So
Yeah.
here you go. This is for my homie.
Hey, look at that! Look at all that.
Yo, all of this?
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
The large, you could give it to your girl, or you maybe even give it out to one of your.
Followers.
Yo, look at this,
Giveaway.
bro.
And then this one is for.
died. Let me bring up the other one.
Yo, this is lit. Funny enough,
Handmade. I mean, not handmade, but I made them myself.
you're like, these Mexican hands made this. What's it called? Coffee drinker, which is why I volunteered to bring the coffee today. I feel like I'm being signed right now. I want to thank my mom for always believing in me. This is the back? Hell yeah.
Nice.
Dude, hey man, my homie, bro. Appreciate you. I feel like, I'm part of the 35th Reason podcast family.